So the year is 2017, and this is the year I believed that wedding filmmaking was going to change my life. I quit my corporate job against all advice not to, just to start my own wedding video business. And on the outside, I mean, this career path sounded pretty exciting. I get to make my own schedule, get to travel, I get to make beautiful films and get paid for it. But at the end of my first full-time year, the reality of this job started settling in. I was broke, tired, creatively burned out, and the stress of meeting deadlines started bleeding into everyday life. I was missing birthday parties, wedding celebrations, and precious time with the people I love most. And most of my downtime was spent distracting myself because, well, I was way too mentally exhausted to even want to deal with reality. And so after navigating those seasons and filming weddings for over a decade, I've learned some of the biggest reasons why videographers quit. And in this video, I want to show you guys the biggest trap many videographers fall into and how to avoid it. Now, this may come as a bit of a shock, but being good at filmmaking doesn't automatically mean people will hire you. Yes, great films help, but it doesn't mean that they will sell themselves. There are amazing filmmakers out there that are struggling to get by. There are average filmmakers that are booking consistently. Because a wedding film in of itself is emotional, but the decision to hire you is psychological. And if quality alone sold itself, every wedding filmmaker would be booked. We'd never have any issues. But couples aren't just hiring a filmmaker. They're hiring someone that they can trust, someone who can guide them, who understands them. And yes, someone who can bring their vision to life in a beautiful way. And there's so much invisible work that goes behind the scenes to becoming trustworthy. You show up early, you make people feel safe and cared for, you over-deliver every single time. You know how to handle stress without making it everyone else's problem, and you treat other vendors with respect even if they don't offer that same courtesy. But when you're stuck just trying to be a great filmmaker, you're too focused on the art to see the full picture. And then suddenly this idea of being your own boss doesn't sound like such a great idea anymore. And this puts you in probably the worst position to be in as a solo videographer, and that is survival mode. And survival mode is dangerous because survival mode is telling yourself, just book something. And so you start panicking. You start saying yes to weddings you shouldn't take, couples that aren't aligned, underpricing your services, and then overworking yourself completely. And that is the trap that most beginners fall victim to. If you've ever been there, I'm sure you can relate. You overload your calendar because you're just trying to create stability, but what you end up creating is future resentment. And one of the hardest lessons I learned early on is you don't need to just learn how to make beautiful films. You also need to learn how to build a business that people trust. Because trust books weddings more than your films alone ever will. And if you don't learn that early, it will lead to the second reason that solo videographers quit. You see, the wedding industry quietly consumes people. But the wedding industry is different because it doesn't happen all at once. It compounds. One wedding becomes two becomes 15, and 15 becomes too much. Because as a solo videographer, every single wedding comes with pressures, timelines, deadlines, communication, editing, revisions, travel, time away from family, responsibility. And most of us are not recovering between weddings properly. We're simply surviving between them. And then suddenly your nervous system starts reacting to all of this weight that you've been carrying by yourself. You feel anxious before weddings, you start dreading the editing, you stop creating for fun, you start losing a little bit of your patience. And eventually the thing that you once loved becomes the thing that you hate. Which means that being sustainable matters so much more than how creative and talented you are. And one of the healthiest things that you can do as a filmmaker right now is to define your capacity before burnout defines it for you. You want to ask yourself, how many weddings can I emotionally sustain? How much editing can I do before I just start to burn out? How much recovery time do I need from one wedding to the next? And the most important one is ask yourself, what kind of life do you actually want outside of weddings? Because if you never define what is enough, you'll always be stuck in survival mode, which is why a huge benefactor for so many solo business owners in the wedding space truly is delegating. Because eventually when you run into a wall, you stop growing, you stop being creative, and you start doing the bare minimum just to get it done. But you're also battling that internal feeling you don't want to sacrifice or give something away that is part of the creative process you actually enjoy, which is why I use Plotline. Plotline is a story editor that curates and distills the most meaningful moments for your story in seconds. No more listening to hours of audio trying to figure out the best starting point and storyline for your film, because Plotline helps you curate and distill your dialogue so that you have more time to focus on the creative part of storytelling. And Plotline has been my go-to resource for getting started in my edit. Once I have all of my multicams created from the wedding day, I export the XML along with the audio from the day. I upload this into Plotline, set my desired story length, the theme of the story, refine any standout moments, and Plotline will generate a story script with a clear narrative. And the best part is when I go to export, I can select my editing software and Plotline will export a timeline of all the best story moments in a ready-to-edit timeline. Seriously, this is one of the best tools for wedding videographers and documentary filmmakers who need a simple way to distill and curate their narrative without sacrificing days to do it. So if you're interested in learning more about Plotline, I will have a link down in the description below. Another huge reason that filmmakers quit is because they price themselves based off of insecurity and not sustainability. Most beginners are not asking what price point supports my life. They're asking what price is low enough to get the yes. And that's dangerous because low pricing creates high pressure. And it simply means that you have to book more, you have to film more. So that's more filming, more editing, more revisions, more emotional labor, more weekends gone, more time away from your family. And that's where the resentment starts building. Because your pricing starts to determine more than money. It starts to determine your workload, your stress, your freedom, your time, your relationships, and your mental health. Low pricing feels manageable at one wedding, but where it starts to compound is at wedding number 18. And that's where I found myself in 2017 at my breaking point. Because most beginners, like myself, built a creative job, we didn't build a sustainable business. We spend years mastering the art, but nobody really talks about how to build a system, how to sustain yourself, how to create boundaries and margin in your business, how to manage your workload, how to think long-term, how to delegate. You can hit six figures year after year and still feel trapped. And that was honestly me in 2017. I was burnt out, emotionally exhausted, financially stressed, and honestly, I really did want to quit. And that feeling hasn't ever fully left me since that year. But yet here we are, close to 10 years later, and I'm still doing this. So maybe I'm just a little crazy. But really what I did was went from trying to survive wedding filmmaking to sustaining wedding filmmaking. I had to build a version that still leaves room for my life, for my health, my family, my creativity, my peace. Because truthfully, you can't wear every hat by yourself for long periods of time. And I'm still learning this, even 13 years in. I'm still navigating through a majority of it. I have gotten better at a little bit of it, but I do think about long term. I don't really want to be filming 30 weddings a year forever. I don't want to be feeling the pressure of deadlines and timelines forever. What I do want is a business that supports my life instead of taking me away from it. And if you're in year 2 right now, you're feeling that, you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, burnt out, anxious, you're not failing, you're just learning something that most people just don't talk about. Because wedding filmmaking is not just art, it's emotional labor, it's a business, and business requires systems if it's gonna sustain itself. And learning how to balance these things is honestly the most important skill of all in my opinion, unless you want to turn the thing you love into the thing you hate. But if you guys have resonated with this video, I do have a freebie down in the description below. It is called the Sustainable Wedding Filmmaker Audit. It basically asks you a number of questions, you score yourself, and at the end, it tells you where you are in your journey and what you need to do to get out of it. So if you find that useful, it will be available in the description below. But until next time, we'll see you.